Right now at 5, medical examiners in Ottawa County, Oklahoma identify the human remains discovered last week.
And we've got showers, we've got fog, and we might even get a little sunshine. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, pharmacy workers in Kansas bring concerns of third-party administrators before lawmakers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday. We're almost to Friday. It's February the 6th. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go.
And we went, so we'll see you again tomorrow morning.
All right.
Yeah, that's all we've got for you. No, it's it was really, man, I could not believe the fog yesterday.
I know.
And I mean, how long? I mean, I know we talked about how long it was going to last. It's just unbelievable when you see it. And I'm telling you, everybody who, I don't know if the fog like impacted drivers or what the situation was, but I'm telling you, I saw a large volume of folks who simply forgot how to operate a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
All because it was foggy at 3 o'clock. And don't get me wrong, that is disorienting when it's foggy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But boy, don't let that happen to you, especially this morning, because we've got more fog out there that we're going to have to deal with. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and we're looking okay. The fog really thickened up by yesterday afternoon, at least in Joplin, where when I got home, boy, it was something else. We do have fog out there this morning, and we've got the showers, and we've got drizzle. We even had a brief actual rain shower in Joplin not long ago. Got raindrops just kind of all over the cameras out there, but they've cleared up. Still dealing with the drizzle, still dealing with the fog, still dealing with wet roadways. Dense fog advisories. Okay, so this has actually changed since just not long ago. There were dense fog advisories into the Springfield National Weather Service coverage area. So that'd be Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee County, Southwest Missouri. And they were running until 8 this morning, but they're gone. So, okay, those are gone. But the rest of them are still in place they run through, I want to say, 8 and 9 a.m., if I'm remembering correctly on those. So we have that to contend with. We got the dense fog. You can see we have fog once again across the entire region with patchy dense fog here and there. So do watch out. Low beams, not your high beams. Slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going. You guys know the drill at this point. By noon today, unfortunately, we're not going to be as warm as I was hoping we'd be today, but our northern counties will start to see a little more sunshine before everybody else. Showers will continue almost right along and south of I-44. They should be done by about 1 at the latest, and then those clouds will continue to retreat just a bit, and eventually we'll all have an opportunity to have some partly cloudy skies before shower chances return overnight tonight. Temperatures this morning, we've got mid-upper 30s and then into low, mid, and even upper 40s, even some low 50s, so a pretty wide spread of temperatures out there. Kids getting on the bus, they're going to need that jacket again for the rain. Low 40s, upper 30s, north breeze 5 to 10, showers, some fog. By this afternoon, should be drying out, partly cloudy. Mid 40s, northeast winds gusting to 25, so it's going to be breezy. And we're looking at highs on average about the mid 40s for us today, and we'll get some clearing in. Again, rain will return tonight into our Friday. We'll talk about that and the latest on that winter weather potential here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Columbus first responders were alerted to a structure fire early Wednesday morning. Columbus Fire Rescue were called to the 400 block of South Delaware around 2:30 a.m. Chief Stephen Burton says that crews were able to quickly extinguish the fire before it spread to a nearby house. There were no injuries and crews were dismissed by 4 a.m. The cause of the fire is unknown. Columbus police, with the assistance of Chief Burton, are investigating. Medical examiners identify human remains discovered last week in northeast Oklahoma. Last Friday, the Quapaw Nation Marshal Service responded to a call regarding the discovery of human remains found in rural Ottawa County just north of Commerce, Oklahoma. Medical examiners searched the area and collected the remains for possible identification. Yesterday, the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the identity of the remains to be those of Aubrey Austin Dameron, an enrolled member of the Cherokee Nation. Dameron was last seen during the early morning hours on March 9th, 2019, as she was leaving her mother's home in the Grove area with plans to meet someone. She was 25 years old at the time. Aubrey's missing persons case has stretched on for 6 years. In November of 2019, cadaver dogs got a hit at a pond in a nearby shed in Delaware County, leading to an extensive search that came up empty. Global Foods in Neosho is dealing with a bird flu outbreak. Prairie View Regional Waste Landfill in Lamar has confirmed they'll be handling the disposal of the birds and following safety precautions. In a statement, the company says in part, quote, "Our landfill team is following all Center for Disease Control guidelines, including immediately burying and covering the waste and disinfecting vehicles and landfill equipment after the material is unloaded," end quote. They say employees will be equipped with gloves, boots, coveralls, and goggles as they handle the disposal. We'll continue to update this story as details are released. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. More than 100 pharmacies across Kansas were closed yesterday as workers meet with state lawmakers in Topeka. They hope to bring to light their concerns regarding pharmacy benefit managers, better known as PBMs. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the details.
PBMs are third-party administrators for health insurers' prescription programs. They're supposed to help negotiate for better drug prices and help determine rebates for pharmacies. But locally owned pharmacies say now major PBM companies have their own pharmacies and insurance companies and are driving their business away. It's what inspired Kansas pharmacies to close their doors for the day to meet with lawmakers.
Unfortunately, the money is being pulled out of our community and it's going to states like New Jersey, Arizona. It's not even within the state of Kansas is where the support goes to. So we would like to see Kansans have good health care and Kansas businesses be healthy and safe.
Wolker Drugs in Baxter Springs is just one of the many pharmacies to close so their staff could meet with lawmakers in Topeka. Pharmacist Brian Caswell says he's hoping to see change. The Kansas Pharmacists Association is working to introduce a bill this year that will allow for pharmacies to have greater patient access. The proposed bill will allow patients to have a choice in what pharmacy they use and prevent some of the PBM practices hurting locally owned pharmacy business.
What I would like to see is more of a transparent pharmacy benefit package. In other words, let's take away the shadows where the PBMs operate within.
Caswell says the day at the Capitol was a successful one, advocating for PBM reform. He says the Pharmacists Association has support from the legislature. Caswell hopes this means we'll see change soon.
We just want to have a business that we can create for our community that allows healthcare access that's affordable and that we can actually operate within. That's all we're asking for.
PBM reform is something pharmacists across the 4 states are asking for. Each state has proposed regulations that would impact these PBMs if passed by lawmakers. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
You can learn more about what concerns pharmacists have regarding pharmacy benefit managers on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And take a look at what happened when a car slammed into a storm drain access in Joplin yesterday. The crash happened around 8 a.m. near 15th and Campbell Parkway. Police say the car left the road going sideways and slammed into the large storm drain access, overturning the car. The driver was uninjured, and the Public Works Department had to bring a backhoe to the site to place near the 3,500-pound back on the storm drain access. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather on our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Several of our local high schools have student athletes heading to the next level. We'll have those details. Plus, United Airlines becomes the first U.S. carrier to resume flights to Israel. And we have a chilly and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Yesterday was the initial signing date for incoming college freshmen planning to play Division I and II college football. A ton of high school seniors from across the 4 states put pen to paper yesterday for football and several other sports. We're going to start in Lamar, where 3 Tigers signed letters of intent yesterday. Grace Scoville signs with William Penn University to join their cheer team. Perseus Sewell signs with Drury University for stunt, which is one of the fastest growing female sports in the country. And Alex Wilkerson signs with Emporia State football.
They're very close. It's like a family team. Like, they show like the connections there they have. Like, they were so close when I got to go meet them. Like, they all have great communications with each other.
They just had such a great atmosphere, and they were all close together, all best friends. They all could easily talk to each other, and it's just kind of the family I was looking for.
Atmosphere in their defense. They play a lot with 5 DBs, so I'll be in and out of the box sometimes, coming down, tackling, and just the historic part.
Meanwhile, over at Carthage High School, a couple of Tiger football players signed national letters of intent with Pittsburgh State. Gorillas pick up commitments from both tight end Carson Murray and defensive lineman Trevor Meadows, who are each excited to make an impact as soon as possible in Pittsburgh.
I see Pitt and I think championship football. I want to be a part of that, and they had a desire to come get me as a player, and that's what I really like. Very stressful, lots of schools were texted, and they just hit me with the biggest want.
I mean, it's nice, from the beginning, it's always a thought, it'd be great to go play college ball with your buddy. But when I got the offer early and he didn't, so we were over the summer and over the football season, we were never sure. But then towards the end of the season, when he finally got the offer from it was great to know that there's about a 99% chance after we'd be going together.
Over at Joplin, 10 Eagle seniors signing yesterday. Aina Kroll, Averis Kuhn-Wilford, Dominic Leesman, Cutler Schwarting, David Thomas, Fia Vogel, Brock Wagorn, Brennan Washington, Alex Witten, and Gwen Zamanzadeh. They represent 9 different colleges and universities spanning across 5 different sports: basketball, baseball, golf, football, and track and field.
I think they have an excellent program. They're really good at getting guys to the next level, and I love the atmosphere with the coaches and the players.
I would say what really sold me was the coaches. They were such great people with big personalities. It was instant connection.
I've always been around Missouri Southern. It's local, I'm local, and the program's great. So being able to stay here, most cost effective, plus it's just a great program, so there's no reason not to want to go there.
I just really, in my visit, I just thought it was a great place, great environment, good coaching, so I just really thought it was a good thing for me.
Elsewhere in Missouri, Liberal High School senior Taylor Sworn signs her letter of intent to continue her basketball career at NEO. Sworn's eclipsed 1,500 career points in a game earlier this season, and she helped lead the Lady Bulldogs to an appearance in the Class 1 Final Four last spring.
Yeah, I had a lot of local looks and offers, but NEO came down to it, and it just felt like a family. I really liked their coaching staff and facilities and everything, and I think academically-wise, I'll fit in well there.
Still to come, a new survey suggests many Americans don't realize taking an aspirin daily is risky. Plus, got another check of that forecast. We'll talk about today, the weekend, and that winter weather potential when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 now on this Thursday morning. Got some stuff to talk about. Okay, my short-term memory is gone, so I added some boxes to help out. Southeast Kansas, these dense fog advisories run through 6 o'clock this morning, so we got about another 42 minutes. And then Northeast Oklahoma and into Benton County in Arkansas, they'll run through 9 o'clock this morning because we have dense fog out there. That part is easy to remember because I drove in it and it's all around the region. And we do have some more significantly reduced visibilities around the Grand Lake area. We've got a mile in Miami, just under a mile in Grove, but reduced visibilities across the entire region. So again, low beams, not your high beams. Slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get as warm today as I was hoping yesterday. But we will see a little more sunshine. Showers will continue mainly along and south of I-44 through about noon, 1 at the latest. Skies will begin to clear. So some of our Kansas counties, you may be a little warmer than the rest of us if you get a little more sunshine. Clouds will clear out a bit. We're looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear skies to the late evening. Overnight, clouds increase. Showers begin to return as well. And as we go into the first half of our Friday, we'll have more showers and mostly cloudy skies and breezy breezy, gusty winds, and cool temperatures again. So we'll have to deal with all of that. Then we'll get a brief pause in the showers, but still be mostly cloudy on Friday. And we head into Saturday, overnight Friday into Saturday, rather. We get more showers that'll start building in. The first half of our Saturday, we'll have showers. Now, they should clear out again by about noon, 1 o'clock. I will be left with mostly cloudy skies, and then those will eventually begin to clear out as we head into Sunday. So here's what we want to talk about as we head into next week is that's the snow potential as we go into Tuesday and then maybe later in the week as well as we head toward the end of next week. So that's something else though. And I'm going to tell you, this is where we're at and why we're telling you don't panic yet. We'll keep watching it. We're doing that same thing we did once before. This is one computer's interpretation between Monday and next Thursday evening of how much snow we could get around the region. That's a lot, okay? And I don't think that we're necessarily going to see that much. I think at this point, some of these higher amounts are going to stay along the I-70 corridor. But there's another computer that actually is coming up with somewhat similar numbers, as you can see. So we'll see exactly how this pans out. Don't take any of this to heart. Don't look at your town and write down, oh God, we're looking at 7 inches of snow next week. We're still several days away. Let's wait. Let's see what happens when we eventually get there. I will continue to refine these numbers, but we are looking at least at the potential for some snow next week. But I think the greater opportunities as we head into next week from the higher accumulations is going to be along the I-70 corridor. We'll get snow further south, but I don't think we'll see as much as they will. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Again, today, mid-40s, upper 40s, about 60 on Saturday, colder on Sunday. Then we head into next week, and here come those snow chances. And then there's another round as we head into next weekend out there that we'll be keeping an eye on as well as temperatures begin to drop well below normal next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, many Americans may be taking aspirin daily without knowing the potential health risks. A survey by the University of Pennsylvania's Annenberg Public Policy Center shows about 48% of people are unaware that the risks of daily consumption of low-dose aspirin outweigh its benefits. Now, the report says about 1 in 5 Americans who do not have a personal or family history of heart problems take aspirin routinely. Consuming aspirin every day was once advised to older people to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke until the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association reversed the recommendation in 2019. Respondents in the survey who are 60 or older reported the highest rate of using aspirin daily. Well, doctors at a renowned Chicago hospital are celebrating a major advancement. It's called Lungs in the Fridge, and it allows for better storage of donor lungs leading up to surgery. Evelyn Holmes has the details.
Flanked by his surgeons, Tad Crosland is the picture of health.
This has been fantastic. It's the best I've felt in years.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area native is as close to a medical miracle as one can get. After being diagnosed with terminal colorectal cancer, which spread to his lungs, he's one of a dozen people who received a successful double lung transplant through groundbreaking technology last September at Northwestern Medicine.
I don't know that I would be here without this procedure.
This morning, the hospital marked an important milestone and the innovative procedure called Lung in the Fridge that helped to save the life of the 49-year-old husband and father. First pioneered a decade ago in Canada and Europe, the process gives doctors a way to store the organ until surgery.
Storing donor lungs at 10 degrees Celsius also allows for more flexible transplant scheduling. Previously, these transplants would happen in the middle of the night.
The lungs can remain refrigerated from anywhere from 12 to 18 hours versus the traditional 6 hours. The procedure was performed through Northwestern Medicine's DREAM program. DREAM stands for Double Lung Replacement and Multidisciplinary Care and is a first-of-its-kind clinical initiative. Doctors say there are several benefits to using lungs in a fridge, one being increasing the donor pool. In 2024, the team began using lung-in-a-box technology to repair the most number of donor lungs that weren't initially viable, shortening wait times of a recipient to an average of only 4 days.
Like blood bank, we can have organ banks and lung banks. I mean, how amazing would that world look like?
And with nearly 1,000 people awaiting a lung transplant, Tad Crosland knows he's blessed. After battling cancer for nearly 9 years, he says it appears he's now cancer-free.
I'd like to thank God for allowing me more time.
More than 40 patients have received double lung transplants through the DREAM program. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we're keeping an eye on that fog across the area. You can see it downtown Pittsburgh. We do have some dense fog advisories as well as we get our day underway. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, a new federal grant helps to combat a teacher shortage in our area.
And we've got patchy fog once again across the area. We're going to have to deal with some dense fog advisories, and then we might actually see some sunshine. Details in the forecast get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Oak Mission High School in Oklahoma has a not-so-secret weapon on the boys' basketball team.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29, just coming up on 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday. It's February the 6th, and I already shared this with everybody here, but I just saw this. Marty McFly in Back to the Future went from 1985 to 1955. That is the equivalent of going from now to 1995. And I am not comfortable with that, not in the slightest.
I'm not comfortable with it either because I wasn't
even born yet.
Exactly.
I remember 1995, at least bits and pieces of it. I don't like that. I don't like that analogy at all.
Does that feel long ago for you?
No, it doesn't. It really, and that's what scares me. Is it doesn't feel like it was that. It was like 10 years ago. Oh boy. Well, as we look forward, we can look forward to maybe a little sunshine. That's what I hate about the winter, man. It just clouds up and stays that way.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been. It was so foggy yesterday, and it's foggy again this morning, but it won't be throughout the whole day. Let's look outside real quick. Downtown Pittsburgh, there's that fog again. It says, hello, did you miss me? I'm back. I can assure you, I don't think anybody necessarily missed the fog, but it is back. And we take a look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Roads are wet down here as well. We've had the drizzle. We've had some showers. We do have some patchy fog, but you can see visibility a little bit better, at least from that perspective. We did have dense fog advisories in parts of Kansas and Missouri here. It ran through 8, but they've gone ahead and pulled those out. Southeast Kansas, these will run for another about 29 minutes. Oklahoma and Arkansas, they'll run through 8 a.m. this morning. So we've got the dense fog advisories, and of course, here's why we've got dense fog out there. Some small improvements around the Grand Lake area, still reduced visibilities, but slightly better than where they were. Otherwise, again, low beams, not your high beams. Slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. You guys kind of know the drill out there. Showers will continue, but they'll begin to end from north to south. By noon, you can see it's mainly the southern half of our area. Still cloudy, still showers. By 1, those should be done. You'll get a little more sunshine to the north, so some of our Kansas counties, for example, you may be a little warmer than everyone else, and the clouds will retreat a bit late this evening before they decide to make a return overnight and bring more showers with them. Temperatures, a very wide range. See, 36 in Yates Center, 52 in Bentonville, and in between, upper 30s, low 40s, upper 40s, and then you get further south and east, we've got low 50s. Kids getting on the bus, we're looking at upper 30s, low 40s, showers, fog, north winds 5 to 10. Should be dry, partly cloudy, breezy, northeast winds gusting to 25, and about 44 when the bus comes home. And again, most of us about the mid-40s today, some clearing taking place out there, and then it'll rain again overnight tonight. We'll go over those details with you, and we'll talk about next week's potential snow here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. The Southwest Center in Webb City has received a $4.3 million grant to combat teacher shortages in Missouri. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the rate at which Missouri teachers are leaving their positions is above the national average. This federally funded grant, called the TQP, or Teachers Quality Partnerships Program, allows any individual who currently holds a bachelor's in any field to go back to school to get a master's in teaching.
We have 2 cohorts, so we have 30 people in each cohort, and they'll get through that program in 2.5 years. They'll stay locally in our own school districts, so they're living and serving the communities we serve. So we're able to meet that diversity and the needs of our area students.
The grant, approved in October, will be awarded through the next 5 years. And Crowder College brought the Southwest Skills USA welding competition to Joplin yesterday. Nearly 40 students from technical schools in Southwest Missouri are competing on the high school side. Crowder College and Ozark Technical College competed on the post-secondary level. Judges say they're looking for a variety of criteria for competitors.
Day, regardless of what we do, students are measuring, problem solving, critically thinking, doing all of those things that ensure that they are going to be a good fit for the welding field. So we're getting them ready as close as we can for what they're going to experience when they go to work for a contractor.
The competition will be spread throughout the area in the next 2 weeks. The competition in Joplin wraps up today, and participants look to earn a spot in the state competition later this semester. And students and teachers at the Carl Junction Intermediate School took inspiration from Andy Reid yesterday as part of a Chiefs-themed Spirit Week ahead of the Super Bowl. Students were encouraged to dress up as the infamous coach for Reid Wednesday. And teachers and students went all in, incorporating Reid's famous mustache, glasses, and catchphrases into their costumes.
I just decided, well, my mom told me it was Andy Reid or Red Carpet Day, and I chose Andy Reid, and she just grabbed my dad's coat, shoved a pillow inside, and drew on this mustache, and I have a hat on with my blue light glasses. And that's really how I came up.
Well, there you go. Well, today's theme is a three-peat Thursday, and students and staff will wear 3 pieces of the same color to encourage another Chiefs Super Bowl win. And in the heat of the high school basketball season, many teams are fighting to be the top of their league. But KOAM's Anthony Saviello brings us the story of a team in Oklahoma focused more on having fun on the court and the student who is leading the charge.
In the heart of Delaware County lies Oaks, Oklahoma, home of the Warriors. On the basketball court, there's one Warrior in particular who stands out above the rest.
Eugene's attentiveness to everything you tell him is top notch. He wants to be first. He wants to be there on time. He wants to get out there and lead by example and do the right things.
Eugene Zool, better known as Splash, is a freshman, determined to do his best on and off the court without losing his smile.
He's always happy. He just brings everybody joy on the team. He's just a fun guy to be around.
Zool gets his nickname because of shots like this. Afterwards gaining some popularity from other students.
They want to take selfies with me.
According to Coach, despite their challenges, this Oaks Mission team is resilient.
They're still engaged in that. You know, it's not about how many times you get hit and knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up, and these kids prove that. You know, they get up and come back every day.
Teammates say Eugene is the one leading the way.
We're having a bad game. He'll always be there and making everybody laugh and just having a good time. No matter what mood we're in, we'll always be happy when we're around him.
And he's doing it with some of the nicest shoes on the court.
You got to tell me about the Jordans, because I love those Jordans, dude. Tell me about it. How'd you get them?
I had one of the teachers named Miss Erica. She gave them to me. Yeah.
In Oaks, Oklahoma, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Swedish community honors the victims of the nation's deadliest school shooting. Plus, shock across the Middle East as President Trump announces a U.S. takeover of Gaza. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. All topping World Watch, one major U.S. airline becomes the first to resume flights to Israel. United Airlines says it will restart service from New York and New Jersey to Tel Aviv on March 15th. The airline also plans to add a second daily flight starting March 29th. The airline made the announcement on Tuesday, the same day President Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. United Airlines previously suspended all direct flights following the October 7th Hamas attacks against Israel. The Swedish community pays tribute to the victims of the nation's worst mass shooting in history. A gunman opened fire at a campus in central Sweden on Tuesday, killing at least 10 people and wounding 5 others. Police say the gunman was dead at the school when they arrived. All of the victims were adults. The school offers educational classes for adults over the age of 20, Swedish language classes for immigrants, and vocational programs for people with intellectual disabilities. Police have not publicly shared if the shooter was a student, but say they believe he acted alone. They are still working to determine a motive, but say there are no suspected connections to terrorism at this point. There is a considerable reaction overseas to President Trump's statements about Gaza. Troy Yanks has that part of the story from Tel Aviv.
Diplomatic shockwaves are reverberating across the Middle East after President Trump unexpectedly announced plans for a U.S. takeover of Gaza that would include forcing Palestinians out. The idea was quickly rejected by Jordan and Egypt, countries the president says would take in displaced refugees. Saudi Arabia also denounced the proposal.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs affirmed that the kingdom's position on the establishment of the Palestinian state is firm, steadfast and unwavering, and that this firm position is not subject to negotiation or outbidding.
That sentiment echoed on the ground inside Gaza, where Palestinian civilians spoke out about a potential forceful displacement of their people.
Trump's remarks are illogical. We have lived through a war for a year and 4 months. And then he comes and says we should leave our land? This is our land and the land of our ancestors.
The new post-war outlook for Gaza comes amid the backdrop of plans to curb Iranian support of its proxies, like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. Iranian officials appear open to talks with the Trump administration, and through state media have praised Washington's revamp of USAID, signaling that even issues with the country's nuclear program can be resolved.
I think maximum pressure is a failed experience, and testing it again will lead to another failure. If the main issue is stopping Iran from pursuing nuclear weapons, well, this is something achievable. This is not too difficult.
Iran's willingness for negotiations comes after President Trump's executive order on Tuesday aimed at preventing the Islamic Republic from having a path to a nuclear weapon, and comments from President Trump that he left instructions to obliterate Iran if they assassinate him.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:45 now on this Thursday morning. We have dense fog advisory, southeast Kansas. They will continue for approximately another 14 minutes and 14 seconds. And then we have dense fog advisories, Oklahoma and Arkansas, and they will run through 9 o'clock this morning. That is because, well, we have patchy dense fog across the entire region. Once again, very similar to yesterday. So wherever you're traveling this morning, low beams, not your high beams, slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going because, again, we're going to have to contend with fog across the entire area. All right, on to the future track. We got a lot to squeeze into a very short amount of time. So we're going to start today. We're going to have the scattered showers, the drizzle through the morning hours, but it will begin to end from north to south across the area. By noon, most of what's left along and south of the I-44 corridor and then stretching along Kansas-Oklahoma border. By about 1 o'clock, the rain should be done. As we go later into the evening, we'll see the clouds continue to retreat, and we'll eventually have partly cloudy or mostly clear skies. However, you see those clouds doing about face. Overnight tonight, they'll turn back north. A few showers out there overnight. Those shower chances increase in the first half of our Friday. And then by about 1, 2 o'clock Friday, most of the showers should be done. An isolated shower or two still possible, but otherwise we're going to be mostly cloudy out there. More showers Friday night into Saturday, and we'll contend with these through the first half of our Saturday. Showers out there and everything like that, and then eventually those will clear out, and we'll be stuck with those mostly cloudy skies again before we start to see clearing late Saturday into Sunday. Then we go into next week. Next week is what everybody's talking about. So I'm going to tell you right now what some of the data seems to suggest is the more likely scenario, but we are still several days away. We're looking at okay, felt that sneeze coming on. We're looking at the possibility of, excuse me, I knew it was coming. Thank you. I tried to stop it. I knew it was coming. Snow. Better chances for the heavier snow along the I-70 corridor and then stretching back into central Kansas. However, there is the possibility that we could get some of that heavier snow in the parts of southeast Kansas, northern counties into southwest Missouri, which leave us dealing with some unpleasant situations in terms of trying to plow and go to school and things. And we'll see another potential round as we go Wednesday. Possibly into Thursday, we'll have more snowfall out there and temperatures are going to get downright cold. So here's 2 computer models and what they seem to think at this time. And I guarantee you they're going to change. Now this is between the 2 rounds of snow, the ones from Monday into Tuesday and then again Wednesday into Thursday. You can see down south barely anything, but then it picks up rapidly and it's suggesting anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snow in the northern half of our area. That's a lot. I don't think it's going to be quite that much. However, I will tell you there is another computer model that, for its own reasons, unless I just mess something up, seems to agree. And maybe I messed something up. But either way, it's something we want to watch because I do believe we're going to get snow. I think most of us will get some kind of snow, but we're still kind of up in the air as to exactly how much we're going to get, and that's all going to depend on the track of that system. Breezy, well, those gusty winds out there today, tomorrow, upper 40s, mid 40s today, near 60 Saturday, cold by Sunday, temperatures below normal for most of next week. We'll have some wintry weather chances to start off the week, and then again by the end of the week as well, so a lot to keep an eye on. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, a wild wreck sends a car squealing down the street, and an ex rudely returns a first date reminder. Patrick Cornell shows us those moments in today's Take a Look at This.
A caught-on-camera collision shows a truck trapping a car, then pushing it through 2 intersections. With the car askew, we switch to the driver's view. This POV shows the terrifying reality as the much smaller vehicle squeals across the pavement at the mercy of the much larger motor vehicle. Police say the driver of the small car escaped uninjured, but the tractor-trailer took off. Authorities eventually caught up to the pushy perp and hit him with a slew of charges for the hit and run. In Florida, this woman reportedly returned a first date memento to her ex, and it landed her in jail. The item in question, this brick honoring the former couple's jet skiing excursion years ago. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Sabrina Coyne is seen on video throwing the keepsake through the window of her ex's home. Body cam, heavily edited by the Sheriff's Department, shows Coyne claiming innocence.
I didn't break the window.
So, authorities took to social media to show the commemorative brick chucking over and one more time in slow motion. Deputies arrested Coyne for criminal mischief and throwing a deadly missile into an occupied dwelling. She's pleaded not guilty to all charges. If you're looking to keep your love alive as we near Valentine's Day, how about an $18 million violin to satisfy your sweetheart? Too pricey? The Joachim Ma violin, crafted by Antonio Stradivari in Italy in 1714, is up for auction at Sotheby's. The instrument's owner, New England Conservatory, is selling the antique to establish a student scholarship fund. Manufactured during Stradivari's golden period, according to the auction house, the violin is expected to fetch between $12 and $18 million when it hits the auction block February 7th, or you can always try chocolate and roses. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
A beautiful instrument. Stick around. We'll be right back. A New Jersey turtle predicts the Super Bowl winning team. One of the 2 turtles at Sea Life Aquarium in New Jersey has picked the Chiefs as the winners on Sunday's game. Aquarium officials say they placed the team's helmet into the exhibit, and that's when Thelma, without any hesitation, walked towards the Chiefs' helmet. Now it's only a matter of time to see if her prediction is correct. And it's only Thursday, but you can start celebrating the weekend early and treat yourself to some frozen yogurt. That's because today is National Frozen Yogurt Day. This icy treat started out as a fad, but has become a freezer section staple over the years. According to nationaldaycalendar.com, dairy company HP Hood came up with the first frozen yogurt in 1970 in the U.S. They introduced it as a soft-serve dessert called Frogurt. Shortly thereafter, Humphreys and Dannon came out with their versions of frozen yogurt. You can celebrate today with your favorite flavor in a cup or a cone.
Lots of fantastic ways to enjoy frozen yogurt. Honestly, I see it as almost the same as ice cream. It's just a little softer than ice cream, but I'm also old-fashioned, apparently, like ice cream. And our forecast is starting to wear people down, and I know it's wearing me down. We got the fog this morning. It's going to continue through about noon or so. Should wrap up by then. We'll also have showers continuing. They'll begin to wrap up from north to south. And take a look at temperatures. Not a lot of motion through the morning hours, but as skies clear, parts of Kansas, and you may get more sunshine than the rest of us, so you may be a little warmer a little quicker. We're looking at partly cloudy skies otherwise by the time we reach the afternoon. Around the mid-40s, maybe some upper 40s near 50 in Kansas. A northeast breeze gusting to 25. Then clouds will eventually increase late this evening and overnight, falling back into the mid to upper 30s with that northeast breeze still gusting. Showers gradually return after midnight, and we'll have morning showers to about noon, 1 o'clock again tomorrow. Still breezy, upper 40s, near 60. More showers late Friday into the first half of our Saturday. Colder Sunday. We are watching the potential for snow next week. And if you join us in our next hour, by the way, I have fixed the snow issue. I knew something was wrong. I will go over those totals again for you. And it's going to be cold as we work into next week as well. We'll have another look at your forecast and a lot more of the KOAM Morning News here in just a few more minutes.